This video is going to cover some document retention policies employers should consider at the beginning of 2019. So first and foremost, employers should keep all time records going back 4 years. The statute of limitations can extend back 4 years for some types of cases, and employers need to be careful about how they keep those records, the clock in and out time, and if the records are audited by anybody or changed, those records as well. Those are critical in defending any type of lawsuit. Employers should also be keeping the clock in and out records for meal breaks as well. Under California law, it's required. So these records also, some consideration should be given on how to keep these records if they're electronic, where they're kept, how they can be accessed and printed out if litigation comes down the road, and how they can be analyzed. So employers should think about that a lot, and that's going to be the primary documentation in any kind of wage and hour class action. Second, employers should also think about pay stubs and schedules. Think about how they're being maintained and where they're being backed up as well too. I see a lot of employers assume that their payroll companies are backing up the pay stubs that are issued to employees. This is not always the case. So employers should get a copy of all the pay stubs that are issued to employees and maintain those locally within the company somewhere, just to make sure that you have those. They're required under California law to be maintained and backed up by the employer. Also, employers should consider and think about what goes in the personnel file. Under California law, surprisingly, a personnel file, the term personnel file, is not defined, so employers need to think carefully about what is and is not kept in the personnel file and make sure that those are backed up and maintained according to California law. And finally, I want to mention too that even though you have these policies in place and the documents are being backed up, managers need to be trained about what documents need to be put into personnel files and what documentation there exists for them to document employee performance and where these should be saved. And if managers aren't trained, they don't know what documents are out there for them to use, and they don't know where to save the documents, all of that is worthless, basically. So they need to understand where to obtain these documents and where to save them once they're completed. So those are just some quick thoughts about documentation under California law. If you have any questions, please let me know, and please subscribe and like the video.